Hey folks, it's Nate. Thanks for joining me once again as we look to the horizon. And today I'm just bringing you another short update. As far as the cover goes, which I discussed last week, I said that most of the covers artists that I was pursuing for the cover of Burning Bright were booked up. I have received a couple of recommendations from y'all, and I appreciate that. I am following up on them. This is going to require, I think, a little bit more legwork on my part because not only have I had to reach out to them, I've had to try and track down social media presence and get an idea of the kind of style of artwork that they do. Because while before I did have a specific set of artists I knew could fulfill that style, now I not only need to find an artist who is available, but is producing the kind of artwork that I would like to use for the covers of my books. So that is a little more complicated than what I was doing before, which was just reaching out to a number of artists who I already followed and whose work I already had an appreciation for and an understanding of, in order to, match up my vision with what they could produce. Um, and it's not like I don't know a number of other artists who could do the cover. It's just most of them don't produce the kind of art I want for the covers of these particular books. So there is some syncing of style and intention that needs to happen there. And I'm going to have to put in the legwork as I go through this process. But I do appreciate people making recommendations to me. That's been very useful. So if you did either email me or comment and leave some contact info, I do appreciate that. Let's see, what else am I working on? Yes, I am continuing to work on the Gospel According to Earth. That is going very smoothly. At the rate I am going, I think that I will be able to complete this project before the end of the year. I'm not exactly sure when. These projects always seem to take a little bit longer than you think they will. Fortunately, I haven't had any of them outrun my expected length by too much. So I think that, yeah, definitely by the end of the year, hopefully by early to mid November, the story will be written and in the can, and it will just be a matter of posting the rest of it over the following weeks. I am currently about 2.5 weeks ahead. I am working hard to get a month ahead because I find that having that extra buffer really helps me set up for the next project. And it is one thing I have learned in this process, which I have done for over a decade now, is while it is important to give yourself a little time between projects so you can recuperate and you don't burn out. Keeping forward momentum is very important. So having your eye on the next project, even as you are finishing one, is an important part of making sure you preserve that momentum. You can't split your attention too much, of course. You can trip yourself up if you do that to too great a degree, and I have done that before. Not on anything I think I've written in the last 5 years, but I know that especially as I was working on the Project Sumter files, as I got to the end of that, I was really, really looking ahead to other things, probably more than I should have been, to be perfectly honest. And I don't think I really stuck the ending of that story the way I would like to. Of course, I was also a much greener writer as I was working on that, and I probably could have retold that whole story much better than I did at the time. Now, not that I have a strong desire to go back and redo it. Anyway, the point is, I think I am in a good position there, and I'm starting to ask myself, what is the next step I want to take when I'm done here? Um, Obviously, I am working on the outline and some basic ideas for Savior in the Sewers, which is going to be the follow up to Burning Bright. But that is not going to be a blog project. Much like Burning Bright, I want to go direct to release on that one. And therefore, I need to also ask myself, once things are done, with the Gospel According to Earth. What do I want to do for essays, which I already have a pretty good idea on, and then what do I want to do as my next fiction project? And since I have a number of ideas already built up for them, I am probably going to write another Roy Harper story after I'm done with the Gospel According to Earth. On top of that, I have a couple of short story ideas that I want to write and possibly publish on the blog. We'll see what happens with those. Anyway, that's where all my projects are at. There is a lot of stuff stewing in the background, but I think that the Gospel According to Earth, now that I have all the pieces in play and beginning to line up information so that the dominoes can fall over to the climax, I am not putting actually as much thought into it outside of writing it. The ideas are coming back to me very quickly when I sit down at the table or at the desk, rather, I should say. And yeah, I think that will go smoothly. Hopefully, knock on wood. I think that will go smoothly as I move my way to the end. There will undoubtedly be some small writer's block hurdles to get over, but there are a couple of things that I need to research. But as far as thinking ahead, not as much of that left to do now. I'd say I have written the first 80, well, not 80, first 60% of the book. And at that point, it's more a matter of making sure continuity with everything you've already set up is maintained so that you flow smoothly to the ending. Anyway, that's the state of writing. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. There's a like button and a subscribe button down there. You can use those as you see fit. And I will talk to you later.